Steve, how's it going, bud?
Buddy, it's going. It's going, dude. By the time we're finished recording this, we might have a new president,
We
or maybe
might,
not.
we might. I can tell you.
We definitely will by the time this gets released,
Yeah, I think so. I can tell you that I think
if we
last
still
time I
have a
checked,
functioning power grid, that is.
yeah, if we're not in civil war at that
Yeah.
time,
No,
uh,
we'll keep recording through a civil war. We got priorities, you know?
it'd be kind of fun to record through a civil war, right?
Yeah.
Although we probably have NSA listening in on everything we say
I think they got bigger fish to fry than two white guys sitting in basements.
today. Today, did you vote yesterday?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you?
No. No, I didn't.
I actually turned in my ballot on Monday, and of course, I had to wait to drop mine in the ballot box because some woman brought her two little daughters, and of course, they had to take a selfie at the drop box.
Of course, dude. If you don't post it on social, it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen, and so I had to put mine in. Um, but we'll see what happens. Last I checked,
Phone votes
Mr.
first.
Biden was 6 electoral votes away, and he had
Yeah.
15 chances to win, and Trump had 1. So,
Yep. We're recording this November 4th.
yes.
Everything's still up in the air.
Yeah, and then
We might be a different country by the time this is released.
well, I just saw this tweet,
What'd you
and I
say?
sent it to you.
Oh,
As Trump's lead in Georgia falls under 1% with votes to be counted, the Trump campaign files a lawsuit to stop the counting in Georgia. Exactly what a campaign that believes they won the election fairly would do. So,
dude, I don't understand any of this. I didn't even know that was an option, that you could sue to stop
well,
the votes
it's
being
not.
counted.
It's not. But this is his MO. He doesn't get his way, so he tries to sue.
I don't understand anything.
But this will get tied up. He's not. I mean, we just need to accept the fact he's not going to concede, and then the question will be, is he going to try and stay in the White House after the inauguration, assuming Biden wins? We don't know. We don't know that Biden's going to win. I mean, Nevada could turn, but but let's assume for a second Biden does win, and then you get to the January 20th. It's inauguration day, and Trump refuses to leave the White House. That means I looked into this. That means federal marshals have to go in and literally evict him from the house.
That'd be kind of cool to see, though.
It kind of would.
Yeah, like that'd be a historical moment. Would that be the only president that ever refused to evict the White House?
Yeah. To my knowledge.
All right. So that's history right there, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that just adds to his legacy as the greatest single-term president this country has ever seen.
Hey, you know what? You know what's funny is, and I'm not going to go too long into this because I tell you, I've kind of felt like shit all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish we could do this intro for 9 hours, because I could go off on this for several hours, because my thinking is, Jimmy Carter was a one-term president,
Mm-hmm.
and he lost because the economy tanked while he was president, even though he had a lot of things working against him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to run against actor Ron Reagan.
Right.
And then George H.W. Bush was a one-term president because of economic issues. But and he lost to Clinton in 1992. Jesus. And neither of those guys did anything near what Trump has done. Dude. And they lost in landslides.
Some of those guys did some really cool stuff, dude. Like,
yeah, and
Ronald Reagan invented the OTP-HJ.
This isn't against Reagan, or God, I don't want to turn this into a political podcast. I really don't.
Well, then, let me take the wheel here, bud.
Go for it.
Did you know that Ronald Reagan invented the OTP-HJ?
What's that?
That's the over the pants hand job.
I knew you were. After I said that, I was like, shit, I know that's coming.
I fucking love Reagan, dude. He invented the jeans, old fashioned, the dry wristy of the khakis, bro. And then obviously Clinton, he invented
many ways to work with a cigar.
He invented the UDBJ. That's the under the desk blowjob.
Truly great Americans.
These are our leaders. This is who we need to be electing.
You know, I mean, talk about a different time. You know how many people when Clinton got, nearly got impeached for getting a blowjob in the White House, and you know how many people were like pissed, not that he got it, that he did it, but they were like, "Why would you settle for a White House intern? Like, you're the president. Show some dignity. Hook up with a stripper or
I mean,
or
what are you
major
talking about?
actress."
Like, how many people, dude? How many people do you know that could hook up with a White House intern? That's pretty high up. Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
That's
it was
classy.
funny. The girl I was dating at the time, her name was Monica, and
Nice.
she was an intern, but not at the White House. She was an intern for a senator.
Nice.
So when that news broke, I was with her when her grandmother called her to ask her if it was her,
Yeah. Well,
and
I
she's
would.
like,
Oh my
"No,
God.
grandma, no,
It's
grandma,
not
it
my
wasn't."
last name. Do
It's
you
like,
know my last name, Grandma?
exactly, exactly. Like, do you think I changed it to work at the White House?
She must not
Uh,
have been very close with her grandma.
I don't know. I don't remember, but
Dude, well, when I remember where I was when that news broke, and I was in the car with my grandma, and I was probably like 6 or 7,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Grandma, what are they saying the president did?" She was like, "Ah, damn it.
Now, was this the
Ah, fuck."
Polish ginger grandma or the other one?
Oh yeah, that was Jolene.
Oh, okay. Your grandma's name was Jolene.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
like that song.
um Ironically, that's also my sister's name.
Dude, is your sister my grandma?
My
No, I'm
sister
kidding.
is a
She's
redhead.
obviously not.
My sister is a redhead. I don't know.
Nah, well, my
She's
grandma's
older
dead,
than
so
you, so maybe, I don't know.
I
Who
doubt it.
knows? I doubt it too, but because she's not Polish, but you never
I
know.
doubt it.
She
No.
My sister works at FEMA actually.
Yeah, my grandma was like, how am I supposed to explain oral sex to a 6-year-old? That's what she said out loud in the car. She goes, how do I explain oral sex to a 6-year-old?
When I was 12, I heard the phrase 69 for the first time,
Nice.
and I didn't really know what it meant. So I said, "Mom, what's a 69?" And my mom had this horrified look at her face, and she said, "Go ask your dad." And you know
Dude.
what's funny is I look back now, my mom definitely knew what a 69 was.
Oh, everybody does. That's got to be such a fun game to play with your spouse when you have kids. Is like just kick the question to the other spouse. Mom, what's a butt fuck?
What's a
Go ask
rim
your
job,
father.
Mom?
What's a Cleveland steamer?
What's a dirty Sanchez?
What's a rusty trombone?
Mom, what's a Dutch rudder?
Mom, what's a blumpkin?
Go ask your dad.
It's your father's birthday present.
It's what I should have done instead of having you.
Whoa.
Oh, dude.
And this is why no one listens through the intro.
These intros are gold, though.
I have fun.
Their
with them.
intros are gold. But we should because this is shaping up to be a really long podcast episode.
Yep.
So, Steve, our guest, we got the great Jeff King today,
Jeff
right?
King, he's an awesome dude. He's a veteran. He's a comic. I mean, those are like my favorite people right there. So
Yeah.
he's in the category for one of my favorite people. I don't know him well enough to call him one of my favorite people, but he could be. He's got the potential.
Yeah, and he's a new comic, but he's working really hard at it. And
Funny dude.
he
was cracking me up last night.
At Zen West?
No, at Wits End in Timonium. Yeah, he was cracking me up. He opened up just like making fun of the kid that went up before him, and I really appreciated it. It made me giggle like deep down in my belly.
Well, we had some fun talking with him. We talked all things politics, fast food, and
roast competitions.
And Steve and him had told some awesome military stories.
Oh, dude, we probably could have gone all night. I feel like we should invite him back on to do that again.
Well, if we ever decide to do an episode called Military Stories, we might have to because I have none.
Oh
So
yeah, you wouldn't be invited to that show.
That would just be that episode would not have me on it. Probably
we could get other veteran comics on, and then you could moderate.
I
You
would
could
have
be
to.
like, all right,
That's
it's
what
your
we'd
turn.
have to do
It's your turn.
because I my only military story is the time a recruiter came to my house and the guy literally the last thing he said to me goes, "Yeah, I don't think you're military material."
Dude, I could write a movie about my basic training experience. It was the funniest time of my life.
Sounds like it. Well, all that is coming up. You guys give it a listen and enjoy, and we will so give it up for Mr. Jeff King. Jeff King, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Jeff?
So it was ironic. I don't know if Steve told you, but so I texted him last night, and I said, "Hey, we still need a guest for Wednesday for this recording."
This was Monday
Jeff
night.
King.
You texted me.
Was it Monday?
Yeah, it was Monday. We were at Leo's mic.
Yeah, we were at
Zen
Oh,
West.
that's right. It was Monday.
Yeah, you texted me, and I was literally standing there talking to you, Jeff, and I look at my phone.
That's what
I'm
he
like,
said.
"Oh, hey, Jeff, you want to come on the podcast?"
That's what he said. He said you were like right there.
Yep, nice. Right place, right time.
Well, it's ironic because the last time I saw you was at Zen West.
That's true. Yeah, you roasted me and then invited me on your podcast.
Well, you roasted me as well. I mean,
that's true.
It was a mutual roasting. Don't make it sound like
that's true. It was a roast battle. You emerged victorious.
Jeff trying to make it sound like I just said, "Look, there's Jeff King. I'm gonna fucking end him."
Yeah, just out of nowhere. Wasn't even at a comedy show. Like, fuck you, Jeff, you fucking legless.
I just saw him with his family, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna roast him right in front of his family. Right in front of his family.
Every time,
comedy. It's so awkward.
Every time we're out, Ray always like he'll spot like a wounded veteran somewhere, and he'll just go up and start making fun of him.
It's true.
It's his thing.
Because like Trump, I support the troops.
It's true, but they are chumps and losers.
Exactly.
Only the wounded ones.
That's true, or captured,
or captured.
Yeah. So today, obviously, this is Wednesday as we record this. Yesterday was the election. That still hasn't been resolved. I think Biden's going to win, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
The world. I could spend this whole hour talking about my outrage at what's been happening, but I'm not going to. But did you guys happen to see the press conference that took place in Nevada today?
I have not seen that.
Okay.
No.
If you get a chance, find it on Twitter or YouTube. I might be able to pull it up on YouTube, but they were giving an update on the vote count, and some obvious Trump supporter comes out screaming at them, "Biden's trying to rig it all, blah, blah, blah." But what got me was he was wearing a T-shirt that said barbecue, beer, and freedom.
Hell yeah.
That's his party, the barbecue, beer, and freedom party.
So
dude,
libertarian.
Well, I just want the question I have is it in that order? Like if he had to make a choice, like if they could say you could have 2 out of 3, would he be like, all right, I'll take the barbecue and I'll take the beer because those 2 were listed higher on my T-shirt? That's what I want to know. Like what if it's like, well, what if you could just have the barbecue and the beer? Well, I got to go by what's on the T-shirt, and obviously barbecue is ahead of me.
Well,
So
I mean, yeah, you might need to do it that way, just because, like, there's like stepping stones to things. Like, you got to have one thing before you can get to the next thing, and maybe that's that guy's order of operations. Like, he doesn't feel free until he's had barbecue and beer. And then he's like, boom.
It's an equation. It's barbecue plus beer equals freedom.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a way to look at it too.
Well, here's my other question. I don't recall Biden ever saying he was going to take away freedom, but I really don't recall him ever saying he was going to take away beer and barbecue.
Ted Cruz won a Senate election based on saying that Beto O'Rourke was going to ban Texas-style barbecue. For being environmentally unsound.
Is
the
that true?
Cattle raising and the smoke and the methane. Yeah, that's what ultimately won it for the for this one day. That's what won it for the Zodiac Killer himself.
Sadly, as someone who's half his family is from Texas, I could definitely see that working. Like no question.
I love that King of the Hill where Hank has a colon obstruction, and then like they wind up putting his X-ray or something in an art museum, and then Hank gets an injunction based on the fact that in the state of Texas it is illegal to defame beef. Is that true?
Again, I don't know if that's true, but I could easily see that being true. I found the video. I'm going to share it here. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I don't know if you'll be able to hear it.
This was in Nevada?
This was in Nevada.
Nevada.
Dude, Nevada.
The only video I saw today. Oh, yeah, look at that shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Freedom.
That's like, he cut the sleeves off himself.
Yeah, you didn't mention there weren't sleeves, right? That's a huge detail.
Yeah, I
right
kind
there.
of wasn't imagining it as this glorious.
Dude, that guy looks like my high school football coach.
Can't hear it, no.
I can't hear it, but we could just commentate over it.
All right. Well, here, let's go. He's saying, give us our freedom for the world. And look at this guy in the purple shirt. He's
really pretending this isn't happening.
He's just like trying to keep going with his speech.
Yeah, but I want to bring him back. Let's go back. Look, he's just giving his briefing. Oh, yeah.
He actually looks like the grandpa from the unfairly maligned Grandpa Joe from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Kind of same hair.
He put on a lot of weight.
He does. yeah, that's the barbecue and beer, man.
I mean, it's a lifetime supply of Wonkas.
Once you get out of bed and start living life.
Apparently.
Joe Biden is taking away my chocolate bars.
And as he's walking away.
What did the guy say?
He just kept saying Biden is taking away our freedom. Here's another one. See, there's a better one. There's okay. Fuck you, YouTube, and your commercials. Okay.
Dude, as he was. Oh wait,
for Cracker Barrel. Steve, it's a commercial for Cracker Barrel.
That's our commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're running this. We're sponsored by Cracker Barrel. If you didn't know, Jeff.
Is that what you guys live off of?
When we're on the road?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Order now. Okay, this is the longer version.
Hell yeah. Get him, buddy. Barbecue. Beer.
He still has his mask mostly on.
Yeah, he's responsible, Jeff.
Yeah, over the chin. That's exactly what they say to do.
I mean, that's where you do it, right?
And of course, camo shorts. Camo shorts, of course.
Camo cargo shorts.
He doesn't want people seeing his ass.
Well, he needed to wear the camo shorts so he could sneak up on him like that, Jeff.
Well, that's how he got past security.
Oh, and he comes back.
Oh, dude, the comebacker. That's like an Earl Weaver move back in the 70s.
There's not even any security. Why isn't there a cop there like pulling this guy away?
They let him through because they're a sympathizer to this patriot.
He says, "Give us our freedom, Joe Biden." Okay. So again, but my question is, I don't recall Biden saying, "Hey, I'm taking away your freedom," but he definitely didn't ever said anything about taking away beer and barbecue.
No, I don't think so. No, he's. I feel like that wouldn't work in like Pennsylvania.
The sad thing is I do believe if you took a poll, if you were to ask the average American to rank what's more important to you, I think beer and barbecue would come out on top.
Probably.
Actually, I think beer would come out on top of a barbecue. Though.
Right. I mean, barbecue and beer are concrete, tangible items.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that's really important to us in this country. We love our physical objects.
Yeah.
I don't. I hate them, but most people do.
Freedom's like it's more of a concept. It's intangible. You can't really put your hands on it, and you can't really measure it either.
But at the same time, according to this man who, for you, me, and Ray, and everybody, went and risked his life to go yell at the Clark County.
Okay, let's not go that far. I don't know.
This man he's basically like Sam Adams.
I actually, if anything, I think the guys that were like trying to ignore him, they were far more at risk.
But to this man, beer and barbecue are on the same level as like freedom and liberty. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what this guy really. It's not that he's ranking them. I think he just listed them alphabetically, if anything, right? Barbecue, beer, and freedom.
That could be it.
Ooh, that's giving him a lot of credit, Jeff.
I mean, I don't think he designed the shirt. We're not giving. I feel like we're thinking about it way more than this guy ever did, by far.
You don't think that guy wakes up every morning and spends hours thinking about his outfit?
He might. I mean, maybe he stares at that T-shirt and
He's
just like,
just
his eyes well up a little bit, and he's like, you know what? This is what America is to me: beer, barbecue, freedom.
no. He was like, I'm gonna go interrupt that press conference. What can I wear that would make people take me
I
seriously?
mean, what do you think he rejected? Maybe he had one that said like, I don't know, cigarette, trucks, and liberty.
So like maybe he had more, but he could only
That's the
put 3 on the shirt, and he had
You
to
don't
like
think this guy's got more than one patriotic shirt? Oh, dude,
he had to make
guy's
some
got
hard
all-
choices in life.
He was trying to seem educated. That's the longest book he owns. Is those 3 words on his shirt.
I like that concept Jeff came up. Like he had a bunch of terms. Is like, damn it, the T-shirt company said I can only do 3.
Right.
I'm going to really prioritize what's
It's like
important
when
to
you're
me.
doing a set, basically. You think about what jokes you want to do, what you might have to leave out, even though you might really want to say it that night. It just ain't going to work. You know what I mean?
He's
Yeah.
just
That's
like,
how this
all
guy
right.
is when he's getting ready to interrupt press conferences.
He goes, I think people will understand if I eliminate God and family right now. Just get rid of it right now.
Well, he saves that for the abortion rallies. You know,
cigarettes, titties, trucks. That's not this election.
Beer,
Put that one in the
barbecue,
closet.
and freedom, you can kind of wear that anywhere, but the family stuff, certain clothing items are more situationally appropriate. Like when you're going to harass the Black Lives Matter movement, you need, your All Lives Matter shirt, correct? When you go, we were talking about interrupting the right to reproductive freedom demonstrators, got to mention family and God a lot.
Isn't it funny how freedom, you worry about your freedom, but you're more than willing to restrict freedoms of others.
Well, yeah, that's the
like
whole
my
point
freedom.
of America. Oh, yeah, well, that's the big thing about America. It's all about me,
Because that guy wants to be able to have an abortion.
I vote
that
for
guy
Trump.
there he's willing to have an abortion, but he doesn't want anybody else having an abortion.
And maybe I'm weird, but I kind of want like all sorts of people to have abortions. I don't want them. I want other people to have them. I try to be very selfless. Like I want all sorts of people to murder their children.
Yeah. I'm a fan of like 50th trimester abortions, dude.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, when you're like 25, I think you should
probably
just be able to
not actually kill people, but those fetuses. It's all right.
Dude, that'd be a lot of dead comics, Steve.
Ooh,
a lot of dead comics.
Yeah.
We get to watch. They all die every night.
There'd be people shooting up open mics every day. Okay, come on now.
That's probably happened, and nobody's even like bothered to write a news story about it.
Dude, yeah. It either hasn't been covered.
Comic shoots host and 5 of his peers.
They're just like, they're open micers. It's fine.
They're like, all right, just scrape them off. We got more of them. It's fine.
How funny would it be if like a shooter goes to an open mic and he's like watching the first comic bomb and he's like, damn, I thought I was sad. He just like leaves.
He just walks out, just like packs up his gun. Nah. Like, you know what? They don't need me.
I mean, even the Joker took notes first. I mean, come on. Like
that movie really is. It's a little too close to home.
Oh,
dude, he reminded me of way too many people I know.
Exactly. I was watching that going.
People we saw last night.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Like there's so many comics we know that could easily go that route. Some that even aren't doing stand-up anymore, which makes me worried that's what they're planning right now.
I don't know.
Like maybe new fathers or something.
If there's one thing that'll reassure you, it's that none of these people have the charisma to do anything like that.
Does it take charisma to be a school shooter?
Yeah.
Oh, no, school shooter? I don't think they would do that either. I feel like comics are kind of past that. Like they would have been, but now they're not. I mean, they're too old.
I don't think there's an age limit on being a school shooter, but like I see what you're saying though. Like,
I thought it was like usually people who went to the school, right?
Yeah, so it's like I think it's typically
I'm
like
a 90s
kid that
I'm a
goes
bit
to
of a
school.
traditionalist when it comes to school shooting. It's the bullied fucking nerd takes it out on the jocks. That's how we grew up. But now it's all fucked up. It's like you don't even go to the school. You just looking for stats. That's
so in your world, Jeff, just take out the guys wearing like the long overcoats and you're fine.
Right, the trench coat mafia, exactly. Like you knew you could see him coming a mile away. Like, look at this Klebold over here. But now, times are fucked.
So if you could make your own T-shirt with your own 3 things that are most important to you, what it would be? What would be your barbecue beer freedom T-shirt?
Man, I can't use those 3, huh?
No, you cannot. Those are copyrighted. That guy, that guy has his shit together. He trademarked all of that.
So we're saying that he designs his own shirts. This guy is all right. So what are my 3 concepts? Well, I want 2 concrete. I'm going to follow this formula. I want 2 concrete items and 1 nebulous concept.
Okay.
All right. So, obviously marijuana. Let's go with that.
Sure.
That's an easy one. That's like the beer. And what's the barbecue? I mean, I like barbecuing, but this dude has already done it. So, Bud, bagels, and what's a cool concept that starts with B? Brotherhood. I don't know.
Bagels, brotherhood. The 3
Bud,
B's.
Bagels and brotherhood.
Bud.
I don't know why I go alliterative.
No, I like that. I would do the 3 C's. Mine would be cigarettes, cocaine, and clean living. The 3 C's, baby. That's the way to do it.
How about you, Ray? What do we got?
Well, I'll go with the D's. Then I'll go with Diet Coke, dim sum,
divinity.
No, I wouldn't go divinity.
Diabetes.
There you go. There you go. Done.
No, but that's not intangible enough.
I don't know if I do dim sum.
I think
it had. Maybe I just go that diet route. So it's like, I got it. Here we go. It goes Diet Coke, Dunkin' Donuts, and damn, I have the DV. I like diabetes. I actually like diabetes. I think that's pretty good. We should all risk diabetes for good treats, dude.
I mean, if you don't get the beatus or heart disease, you're a really crappy American.
Dude, you know how weird it is that I'm as fat as I am, and I don't have any of that shit? Like, I feel like a freak. I really do.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Maybe people should study you
that way. I mean, he passed away sadly, but he his only health problems were like your weight is crushing your organs, but the tissue inside those organs is perfectly fine. But he's like, "Fuck you! I'm not doing any of this stuff." Not on his own terms, sadly.
I don't even know if
I'm sad because I feel like he would have loved the coronavirus. Like he passed away this Jan. I'm bumming everybody out, but I just thought that he'd be looking down from heaven, watching people fight over toilet paper, and it would make him so happy, He was the kind of guy that would appreciate motherfuckers fighting over TP.
Maybe he is, dude. You don't know.
Yeah,
he is.
We don't know. I mean, Steve and I just had this conversation. You don't know what happens when you die.
Well, I mean, I know what happens when you die. The people who remember you project their bullshit onto you.
Yeah, that is true.
The problem with dying as a comic, though, is how many like
on stage, you mean? Like,
well,
big
I would no,
or
dude,
like literally dying.
I would love.
Going to hell.
No, I don't mean like dying like eating a dick. I mean like dying like I would love to die on stage. Like have that fatal heart attack right in the middle of a joke. As I hit my punchline, I have that heart attack and die.
You've talked about this before.
Yeah, because again, I want to see which comics would make the effort to try and move me.
No, I told you what would happen. We would just do our sets over your body.
I think that's a fitting funeral.
We would just start. We wouldn't even bother calling the paramedics. Like this dude's dead. We
just throw a tarp over me. Use me as a stool.
Yeah, I mean, we can use you as a podium. We can eulogize you
I think that would be an amazing send off because I think that'd be better than a funeral where, what's going to happen is a bunch of comics you don't like show up.
Oh my god.
Making hacky jokes and acting like he was so great.
I saw him die, but I had no idea.
He was so great.
Trust me, being an amputee, I've heard them all.
Or producers who constantly tell you they're going to book you, who never book you, go, I was just getting ready to book him for my show. I was going to call him the next day and book him for my show. It's like, you are so full of shit.
Or better yet, they were going to pay you for the show you did.
Yeah, it's like, why am I dead and you're still alive? Doesn't make any sense.
I love the idea of like open micers looking for time at your funeral.
Yes. Like, yo, let me please get a eulogy in, bro.
Yo, can I just get a quick 5? Let me get 5 real quick.
Everybody got to eulogize me, but they get a light at 4 minutes.
I mean, who's the host? Like the chief pallbearer?
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, I'd host the fuck out of your funeral, dude.
Steve would be a great host.
I mean, just like in general, when a comic dies, obviously. But like, there's going to be a protocol for comic funerals one day.
Here's Steve hosting my funeral. So Ray was really fat. But he's holding the mic like you normally do. You just hold the mic.
Right.
Have your notebook on the side there. You're just.
And the
What
worst
else
part is
am I
I'm
gonna
recording
talk
this set.
I've known Ray for 30 years, and I've only seen him in bars.
You send it out to clubs. Now, this is a funeral, but
it's showing off my versatility as a comic. Like I can clearly, speaking of death though, dude, Ray, the other day I texted you saying that our last podcast is like up so you could like do the promotion or whatever. Yeah. And you never texted me back. And then I didn't see you make any post and I got worried.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I was like, shit.
Oh shit. You're right. I didn't respond back.
I was like, I was like about to send a follow-up text and then you texted in a different group message. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's good.
That's what it's come to, huh? Just any moment of silence on my part. You texted while I was watching the Raiders game. That's why. And I generally don't respond to texts. And then I probably just forgot you texted. But
no, it's all good. I'm just saying I'm glad you're alive.
Thank you. I could take it or leave it personally. But
make the most of it.
Being alive, of course,
Yeah.
It's
pretty lit. I like it.
It has its moments.
I'm having an okay time.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. Well, if you had a girlfriend that looked like yours, Steve, of course you'd like living right now.
Yeah, she's pretty good looking. I like her. I think I'll hang on to her for a little bit.
Just a little bit longer.
Yes, dude. One of the best lines I've ever heard when somebody complimented somebody else's girlfriend. This kid, without missing a beat, turns and goes, "Yeah, she's one of my finest bitches."
That's so validating.
That's when you go, where are the others?
Oh, dude, I was like, that was way back in high school. I just thought that was incredible.
Jeff, comedy, what do you think?
What do I think? I think it's a crock of shit. No, I love it. It's I've been doing it for a little more than a year and a half.
So
fresh.
So what got you into it, dude?
What got me into? Well, I mean, I've like into comedy, like into doing it or watching it.
Well, I mean, obviously everybody has their origin story.
Sure.
But well, let's start with this. When did you get out of the military? When did you officially leave the military?
I retired in 2013.
Okay. And then what'd you do? What'd you do when you got out of that?
I went to grad school for social work and worked for the VA for a couple of years. And then like when Trump started downsizing the federal government, I got laid off in 2018. And just like, because I'm basically a cuck, wound up not working for the VA, but volunteering for them. So working for free and still like doing their data entry shit just because, I wanted to do something. I wanted to keep, giving back and all that. But also, one of those, I'd always thought, what would it be like to go to open mics and do stand-up? But I'm lazy, so I didn't really do it. I just basically was thinking about it on and off for pretty seriously since like 2016 when I moved to Timonium and knew they had Magoobies and stuff. But yeah, one day, just out of the blue, I got back from whatever I'd been doing and thought, I'm going to go down to the Sidebar. Or I looked up where there would be an open mic, found out it was at the Sidebar in Baltimore. And hung out, talked to Mark, who was hosting it. And he said, yeah, I'll put you on late as fuck, like what I do when you're new. I'm like, great, that sounds cool. I didn't have anything prepared. I bombed, left the stage early, but I thought it was really fun. In general, I don't look at bombs as like, I've been through some pretty traumatic bomb-related incidents, I guess, before anyone else makes that joke. So, like, going up on
I'll be
stage,
honest, it took me a second to get that, Jeff.
Yeah, no.
It took me a second. I was like, because I was literally about to say, well, Jeff, everybody bombs. Everybody.
Right. No, that's the thing, though. I feel like a lot of people take it hard. I don't. Like, when I don't have a good set, which happens, I'm like, well, that's my fault. What did I do wrong? And how do I not do that again or try to improve from it?
Yeah, that's a super healthy way to look at it. Sometimes I do get like too upset after a bomb. And like I notice that I do it and I'm like, damn it, why am I? It's just I just got to work on it more.
While you're up there?
No, like afterwards I'll be like, oh shit, that fucking sucked, didn't it?
Yeah, and I had the same problem. I mean, especially early on, I had some bombs early on that literally made me want to quit comedy.
Sure, yeah. And you see, and like you have those times on stage where you're in the moment and you hate it. You're like, I don't feel good. I'm not enjoying what I'm saying right now. But it's kind of fun to try to overcome it too. It's a challenge. It's a, doesn't always work.
I think the key is you gotta understand the degree of bombing. So like, and it's funny. I just had this conversation with Sam Cobb because Steve and I, do you know Sam Cobb, Jeff?
I don't think so. I mean, I've heard the name, but
Sam's a young guy. Me and Steve have known him for years. We all kind of hang out and kind of run as our own little comedy crew sometimes.
Mhm.
But Steve, Sam is at that point where like he has lots of material, but he rarely uses it. Like he sticks with his main stuff, and he never does his old stuff, his new stuff, because he's worried it's not going to work. And he and I had a long talk about it on Monday about how I've gotten to the point where when I go to open mics, I only do new stuff.
That's
so
awesome.
I kind of expect to bomb at an open mic. Like I'm not expecting to kill.
You're just
I'm working on new stuff,
memory and all that.
Well, because if you do it long enough, you have your base set that will work.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm trying to move away from my time-tested, so to speak, material, and experiment more, write newer bits, and start using them. Figure out how to transition them in or integrate them into a set. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but I used to listen to like Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz and all that, and they used to talk about how bombing can really be therapeutic and how it could really work for you. Oh, yeah. And so I've been trying to approach it that way. Right. And I think that's kind of worked for. I mean, you could still, like, I've had book shows, I mean, in the last 6 months where the crowd wasn't really into it. So you call it a bomb, but it wasn't a bomb. Right. I mean, your material works. It's just for whatever reason the audience wasn't into it. More than likely they weren't into anybody's stand up that night. Especially if you do it at places that are not like a lot of these brewery shows now. Sometimes people aren't there for comedy; they're there for beer and barbecue and freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not. The fact there's comedy going on, it's more like an afterthought.
Absolutely.
So like if you struggle there, that's not really a bomb. That's just you just had a crappy crowd.
In this day and age of COVID, though, that's in my experience, and I don't do a lot of shows, but the last brewery show I did, people were there for the comedy because they've been, I think, also kind of more pent up at home, not able to go out, certainly not able to go to entertainment events. So something like the shows that you would have taken for granted a year ago, as a fan or as an audience member, you're like, oh, this is really fun. I'm actually going to enjoy it. So that's been interesting. I don't know if you've kind of.
I think brewery and winery and distillery shows are the wave of the future. I think those are going to be the new comedy club because they're the best setup for it.
I think especially because of the COVID thing.
Because
they're outdoor, they have outdoor seating and they're like naturally more spacious inside because they're typically in some kind of like industrial area.
That's true. I did a winery show. It was a benefit show, so it was part comedy, part music, which I think is really cool and is something I'd like to see kind of more of. But
that is cool.
But it was outdoor. It was a benefit for cystic fibrosis of all things. So everyone was really taking the masks very seriously. But it's also interesting trying to do stand-up comedy, which you traditionally associate with dive bars and clubs and things like that, in an outdoor. It wasn't enclosed, but there was a roof. There was a tent. So but you still hear all the revelry and the dancing and the stuff in the background. And you're outside, so you can't really talk to anybody. So there's not actually accountability, but you still have to perform. It's a weird thing to try to deal with, but I had fun with it.
Yeah, I think dive bars are going the way of just becoming open mics, and I think wineries and that and breweries are becoming where they're actually doing shows.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
It works out well.
It's also kind of laid out. The winery vibe is good because it's not. You don't have a lot of foot traffic typically compared to a bar where people they'll show up to drink not knowing there's going to be comedy.
Right.
Like if it's in Fed Hill or something. Like we did a show with Sam Rubin where they were cool, but there were people that didn't know that they were going to not be able to watch the game. and just had to sit through stand-up for 2 hours.
I know the place you're talking about. I was there one night, and I swear to God, like they had the window open so you could see the street, and this homeless guy walks up, and the window is right behind where they had the microphone set up.
Absolutely.
And he pokes his head in through the window, and he just starts talking over the comic while they're on stage. And then he comes in, and I think they let him do a set or something. And he just
about right.
He just started singing.
Sure. Yeah.
It was fucking bizarre, dude. Yeah, but I think you're also expecting a different audience at like a winery versus
you're not getting hecklers.
dive bar.
You're rarely getting hecklers and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, people at a
little bit classier.
They're classy drunks. They'll give you a classy heckle.
Sure, I can appreciate a classy heckle.
You're kind of the bitch of the weather, though. Unfortunately, I was scheduled to do a show at a meadery. I've never had a glass of mead because I'm not a Viking warrior, but I was looking forward to it. But unfortunately, it got rained out.
The proper way to do it is to drink it from the horn.
Yes,
of a bull that you've murdered.
Right, or an oryx.
An oryx. That's what is an oryx? I've heard
it's
about
a mythological ox, I think.
So kind of going back, there wasn't like a specific moment that you were like, oh, I'm gonna go do stand-up. It was just kind of like
basically that day,
oh, I'm just gonna do it.
April 1st, 2019 when I started doing it. And then I had a great time. I got to meet some comics from Baltimore that are really cool people you would still see around, or certainly were seeing around back then. And they were very supportive, knowing like I was really new. It was my first time. And they were like, yeah, you're having fun. It's all about just getting up there and enjoying, trying to actually, not just you having fun, but help other people enjoy their evening.
Sure.
And laugh or something if you're good at it. And like it was Archie who told me that. I don't know if you know Archie Jameson.
Yeah. Jameson.
Cool as shit. And he had that movie come out, or web series. So that was just some really good advice to get early on for, how do you just go up there and not be nervous? And that's kind of how I've always approached it. And then pretty much after that, I looked for one later that week and just didn't stop till COVID essentially shut everything down. But it's been fun, and especially in Baltimore. I think Baltimore specifically has there's a good group of comics you can kind of learn from. And everyone kind of helps each other.
Yeah, Baltimore does have like a very positive vibe.
Yes,
like
it does.
There's not too many people that are like standoffish or like won't talk to you, or for the most part, everyone's really inviting.
You kind of can't. You'll get a reputation as someone who does that. People are like, that guy's a dickhead. Like,
right? Don't go to that guy's room. Or if you do, don't talk to him.
It's funny. In 3 years, I've never gone to the sidebar. I never, mainly because it just started so late on a Monday that I just couldn't get up there. I don't live near Baltimore, but it's you talk about how you just kind of got up and started. And Steve, I know you did the same. I actually took a class at the DC Improv, and one of the reasons I kind of brought up how you got started is they're actually Armed Services Arts Project or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Yeah,
people have done that.
Yeah, well, Dwayne White is someone who came out of that, and it's actually grown quite a bit to the point they're even putting on their own shows now.
Yeah, I went to one of their outdoor shows. Speaking of outdoor shows, it was in Logan Circle, like in Deep Stages. They have those parks. Because a guy that I went through Walter Reed at the same time as Adam Keyes. I don't know if you're familiar.
I just heard the name, and I think he's a friend of Dwayne White, but I don't think Dwayne White, but I haven't met him.
Yeah, he's awesome. He did a set there. He was also on that winery show I was telling you about with.
Yeah, you should hit up Dwayne White, man. You would do really well on those shows.
I've done one. I know Joe Gagliardi and Steve Jensky. They both produce a lot of shows, and
I was actually supposed to be on a show for Steve last week, but it got rained.
That's the one I was talking about.
That's right. That's right. You were on that show. Right. That's right.
That was gonna be and I was looking at some of the other. Adam was on that too, actually.
Yeah, Steve had a meadery in Gaithersburg, like 2 minutes from
right. But it was like a tropical storm, so that shit.
I poured.
No way.
But I didn't even know
which was good because I had to actually be at Magooby's, so I kind of double booked myself. And felt like a real prick, so it all kind of
the life of a star, Jeff. Just always worried about.
I want to support my my friend Charlotte and her victory. at the monthly talent.
Oh yeah, that was awesome that she won that.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a good one. I got her drinking out of my leg after she won, so there you go.
I heard
Dude,
that.
that's such a funny video.
Oh,
Have
yeah,
you seen the video, Ray?
No, I saw the video and
It's
I
all
just
over
couldn't bring
Facebook.
myself to watch it.
Dude, Jeff
I
does
just
this little like wave with his stump.
People love the nub wiggle, man.
It was so funny. It was like almost cute if it wasn't like gruesome.
I feel like cute and gruesome is my thing, man.
That's a good way to describe you, as cute and gruesome.
Jeff
Thank
King,
you.
cute
That's
and
never
gruesome
really happened.
tour.
You should market
Cute and
yourself that
gruesome.
way.
That'd be a good podcast name.
Right? Yeah, he's
Cute
like,
and gruesome.
you're the only comic that can be cute and gruesome.
I feel like plenty of other people can be cute and gruesome, but yeah,
You
I feel
think?
like it comes naturally for me at this point.
Yeah.
No,
I feel
Steve,
like- I
another
feel like you got a corner on the
podcast
market.
for our network. It's the Cute and Gruesome Show with Jeff King and Charlotte. Like, just
We want to do a podcast, so hell yeah, me and her, because she's a good artist. I don't know if Steve, were you there for me and Ray's round?
No.
At,
No,
Ray
I
wasn't
was
there.
I was on vacation. I missed like a whole week of doing stand up.
yeah, because he also missed the Second Chance Saloon goodbye. Which,
Farewell.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
bummer. That was fun as fuck, and yeah, I had a great time that night. I roasted 4 fucking jerk offs in a row.
Damn, you got to do 4.
he beat
I had to
Parker
do
in the
4
final.
rounds.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
beat
well, good.
Parker in the final.
Beat Parker. I thought you beat Parker. I thought it was kind of bullshit that he beat you.
I actually thought Parker won because I. So here's the thing. That was the first time I'd ever done a roast battle because I always avoided them because low hanging fruit here, And
yeah, but
and
you're a good joke writer, so I feel like
I'll be honest. That black girl going off on Parker kind of worked because I already had a Parker's racist joke.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
So it kind of worked out well, but I knew, I was like, I don't think I can beat Parker because Parker does a lot of those, and he's a much better one-liner comic than I am, especially when it comes to writing. And he wrote some really funny shit about me. But I talked to Baxley after that, and Baxley was like, "Yeah, I did that on purpose. I just wanted to see you and Parker go at it." He goes, so I said it was a random draw, but really I just wanted to see you and Parker. I wanted to make sure you and Parker went around with each other. So, but it was all cool. But the second one I ever did was with you.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to,
Your joke, your kind of long form roast joke, which I'm not going to be able to do it justice, but I'll just.
Which one? The first set or the second set?
I think it was the very last joke you told of the second roast set. Where it was
yeah, I know the joke you're talking about.
And some of his war buddies, and I went up to talk to them, and blah 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 blah. And the punchline was, and then this week I found out they tried to kidnap the governor of Michigan.
No. It was right when that news came out about that group.
Exactly.
And the joke, what I basically said, Steve, was, I saw Jeff eating with a bunch of his war buddies, and afterwards I went and talked to one of the guys, and I said, what was Jeff King like in the military? And he was like, let me tell you something. Jeff King is a hero, and he should be treated like a hero that he is, because he worked hard and he sacrificed for his country, and he's a great man, and I hope the world someday recognizes him for his greatness. And then I said, so Jeff, thank you for everything. And then the audience claps. And then I said, then the guy said, now, if you excuse us, we got to go kidnap the governor of Michigan.
Yeah.
But you know what? That was not my favorite joke, though, Jeff.
That was my wife's favorite joke.
No, my favorite joke is when I said and it worked out
I
perfect.
like the service dog one too.
Oh, I said Jeff had a service dog that hung itself. So,
I don't even remember any time. I weren't that good.
But my favorite joke was, and it was almost like you coordinated with me, but you were wearing a flannel shirt and like jorts, and I said if you gave Jeff a football helmet and a hunting rifle, he would be the West Virginia RoboCop.
That's good.
A good one.
Yeah, that's a solid joke.
But you had some good ones too. I mean, that was a really good round.
It was
a really good
I
round.
feel
You had some good ones.
I don't nothing like that though. Yours were, I could bear. I said like you looked like the most comforting and supportive bear daddy at the gay bar. I don't know,
which is true.
Yeah, exactly.
You do
You gotta have a couple of gay jokes in a roast. It's a rule. It's a roast.
Yeah, you gotta make people question what they look like to
I
other
felt
people.
bad about sending a very nice Christian man to hell in a roast joke. So, because I knew he went to church, so I was like, "You're pissing God off right now with what you're doing." Because I thought I was gonna have to go on first. I was trying to get in the guy's head. Funny, dude.
I don't know. I mean,
well, I want to get back into producing more shows. So whenever I get back around to doing that, I'll put on a fucking roast battle for you two.
Oh,
you can have a rematch.
I like it, but I still want to just. Nothing's better than just doing actual sets. Obviously,
yeah.
I do love roasting. Helped me write. Kind of helped me get phrasing, like pacing and timing down.
You know,
I like it because it gives you a target. Like it gives you something specific that you have to write about, and that's one of the biggest problems for me is like finding a premise.
Well, you know what I thought was cool, especially for me, because again, I don't really do one-liners, but it forced me to have to do one-liners, or at least adapt to that style.
And one-liners can become good tags, even if you do kind of story or long form. You're like, oh, this is a cool one-liner I can incorporate into a larger bit or joke or something.
Well, that's why the one great thing about crowd work, and Steve, I know you know this because you do so much crowd work. How many times have you been doing crowd work and you just said something random, and then you were like, dude, that's a fucking good bit, or that's a good joke, and you end up developing it.
I don't think I've ever developed anything out of crowd work, honestly. I just for some reason I'm just like, all right, that's what happened in that moment. I'm just gonna let that be that moment. Like that was a fun moment I had over there. But no, I don't think I've ever developed.
Do you write bits to use as crowd work?
Say what?
Do you ever like have a pre-written bit or a line to use on a crowd?
I'll write like questions to ask crowds, but I don't really have like a pre.
Yeah, maybe not a bit, but sure.
I'll be like, hey, who here wants to hire a hitman or something stupid like that?
You know how you're gonna start it, basically. You have an idea how you're not just like I'm out of shit to talk about something. Because I don't do crowd work very well, so my idea of crowd work is, do you like shit? Like, I don't know what the fuck to ask somebody. I'm awkward.
Right.
But some people have good ideas.
Yeah, if you have like a specific question, that helps. For sure.
Yeah. Crowd work is. Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I don't think I've ever developed a bit from doing crowd work. I've definitely thought about it ahead of time, but I don't think I've ever done it the opposite way.
Well, crowd work, it can be. Steve will tell you, it can be so hit or miss. Like, if you're gonna do crowd work, you better have an audience. One, hopefully. If you're going to do crowd work, there's two different types of crowd work too. There's like, I'm going to deliberately engage the crowd, and then there's dealing with hecklers, or dealing with people in the audience. Yeah. And I have two that I usually use, but they're both ones for like people talking close to the stage, and the other one is if their people are being loud at like a bar area that I use, and they go over fine. But I only use them in those specific circumstances because they don't really apply anywhere else.
That's far more common than a heckler anyway.
Yeah,
like heckler that maybe once in a while, but usually it's more just people not giving a shit, and you just need to ask them to quiet down.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a limit to crowd work too. Like you can easily kill a crowd.
Oh, yeah. The second you use the word crowd work around Baxley, it gives you the light. Right.
Well, no, but the sometimes comics just go too long with it. Because essentially, when you do crowd work, you're essentially dealing with one person.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
And if you deal with that one person too long, the audience is like, well, he's fixated on her or him. Why? It doesn't matter. So you got to be really careful. Like if you're going to do it, there is an old adage that if someone's heckling you, you're supposed to be unmerciful to them. So one, you can't be, if you're going to do it, you can't be afraid to do it. But also you just have to be able to make sure that whatever you're doing, gets the whole crowd into it.
Exactly. You're trying, like anything else, you don't want to make it just between you and it's like the roast thing. It's not between you and the other comic. Between you and the majority of the audience.
Right.
And you want to get a laugh from them. Like I shut somebody up with something that was kind of canned also, and it kind of worked for me.
Oh, dude, that was so awesome.
He wasn't even talking that loud. It wasn't even fair to this poor guy. He was like whispering to his buddy. He was like, hey, excuse me, sir. Are you a veteran? He's like, no. It's like, well, I am, so shut your mouth or something.
Yeah.
And I had already been kind of an asshole for my first minute of the set anyway, which had kind of worked for me. So
yeah, Jeff was an asshole like his whole set. I loved it last night, dude. You had me rolling.
Thank you. That was fun.
Being so mean.
I was just being mean. I was being a little bitch up there. Not a little bitch.
But you know what, Jeff?
The bitch is back. You know?
If anyone ever accuses you of being mean, just like take your pen and tap on your leg and just say, I've got a right.
Oh, yeah.
I can be as mean as I want.
I think everybody's got a right to be an asshole. Just, you know, within reason.
I think you can
People don't know how to be assholes or how to complain. That's just something I think a lot because, like, there's ways to complain, which is humorously. And then there's ways to complain that suck. Like, when someone just makes it about how they feel about something, nobody wants to hear that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always think, and I'm sure you guys don't smoke weed or anything, but, like, if I offer somebody some weed and they say, no, that's fine. But when someone goes off and gives you a 15-minute lecture on why they don't like it, it's like, I could not possibly care less.
Right.
Like, as Nancy Reagan would say, just say no, you fuck.
Right.
Jeff,
just say no.
I can tell you unequivocally that I do not in any way smoke weed, okay?
Of course.
Remember that.
Yeah.
And we put this on public record, okay? I would never smoke weed.
But if I were to, hypothetically.
Right, we put way worse things out.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you about it off air, Steve.
Yeah,
my concern in that regard, but
all I'm saying is you're never going to pass a background check ever again after this podcast.
No,
neither am I. So I hope you're in the last job you ever want to have.
So we better hit big with this fucking show,
dude. That's what I like about that. It's the burn the boats mentality.
Yeah,
it's like what Vikings did when they showed up on a shore. They were like, burn those fucking boats, and then you have no option but to win or you're dead.
Exactly. So
was that really for motivation, or were just Vikings just like burning shit? Really?
Yeah. Why would you burn the boat? I guess maybe to stay warm, but don't you burn the village for that?
That's one way to look at it. Yeah. No.
Why would they burn the boats? Were they planning? I thought their whole thing was never settling anywhere. Just hop in the boat and get the fuck out of there after you loot the place.
Well, they were really good boat builders, so they would just build new boats. But they didn't like if you lost and you had to run away, you didn't have anywhere to go. Was the mentality. So like you fight until you die.
So it's like the Red Army at Stalingrad with like you can't go a step back or the KGB shoots you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or it's like why our military doesn't put any escape hatches in tanks or any of the vehicles. It's because they want you to feel like you're fucking stuck in it.
Were you a tanker?
I was a gunner on a Bradley.
Is that true?
So in the joke, I just say tanker just because
you were in
a tank.
Wait, hold on, time out. Is that true?
What?
That they don't put escape hatches in tanks?
Well, that's a theory that us came up with when we were sitting around like bitching about our jobs one night. So it could be very well true. I mean, there's probably no paperwork on that.
Right now, somewhere the Pentagon is
cheaper not to do it. I mean,
right now somewhere the Pentagon, a light's been triggered, an alarm just went off because Steve Tracy knows the truth. We have to take him out.
There's definitely other people that have thought about this.
That's true. I'm sure the actual truth is we could do it, but it would be a minimal cost increase, so we're just not gonna.
Right. Yeah, we'd have to hire another engineer to figure it out.
That would probably be the most likely reason.
The whole point is they just don't care, right? It's like if you die, too bad. If not, great.
The tank costs more than you. Save it is the message that I get.
I was when I was at when I was stationed at Camp Lejeune, we were right next to a tank battalion. I was in an infantry unit. So for whatever reason, I don't know why we did this, but we hated these assholes. So you just had to yell, "Fuck you, tanks," whenever you were walking around.
Yeah. We got a lot of that. Infantry guys for some reason hated anyone that wasn't infantry.
Oh yeah, it's like stand-up comics hating improv.
Right.
It's the only way
improv sucks.
They just think they're the best. And then I was cavalry, so we were always like, oh well, yeah, maybe if you read a couple more books, you can make it to be a cavalryman or figure out how to drive.
Don't they get a cool blue cord or something in the army?
Cavalry?
No, infantry.
Oh, infantry? Yeah, the infantry gets a blue cord. We get fucking cowboy hats, dude.
You get a Stetson? That's badass.
Yeah, I get a Stetson. I got my spurs somewhere around here.
Yeah, cool boots.
I get to dress up like a cowboy.
That's right up there when I was serving my time in the Salvation Army.
Were you Santa?
every Christmas I had to, stand outside in Giant and ring that bell, man. It was hell. It was hell.
Well, thank you for your service, Ray.
Did you claim 10% for tinnitus at least?
No, but I did get a great couch from one of our Salvation Army stores once,
Nice.
and
his shoulder cramped up from holding that bucket of quarters.
It was hell, Steve.
I know. I try to add weight to that because I care. Or something.
That's such a dick thing to say. I'm sorry. That's a dick thing to say to two guys
No,
who actually served.
Well, no, I didn't actually do anything. I never got deployed. Like Jeff actually did stuff. I was a waste of taxpayer money.
I was still a waste of taxpayer money, but I did protect those opium fields.
Well, that's important.
Yeah.
We need it. I would be standing over it, be like, "You're going to go into somebody's arm in Tennessee."
I just spent 7 years damaging government equipment. Is what I did.
Oh, I damaged. I mean, I am damaged government equipment. So.
I heard somebody was. Oh, it was actually my girlfriend this morning. I was talking about like something being government issue, and she sometimes she has like these funny moments where she'll immediately flip something, and she's like, "Oh, I am a government issue." And she started going off about like all the shit the government should be worrying about her. I was like, oh shit, that's actually a really funny way to flip that. So I'm definitely going to steal that and do that on stage.
Yes, absolutely.
So you were a Marine, Jeff?
Yeah, I was in the Marines stationed down in North Carolina.
Is that where they train SEALs? Is that Lejeune?
No, they do that in San Diego.
Yeah, I think they're out in California.
Well, there's SEAL units at Lejeune, right?
No, well, that's Navy. We don't let them around. I mean, we have a lot of naval personnel.
Well, then
someone stolen Ballard. Yeah, you got stolen Ballard, dog.
No, someone told me that like Camp Lejeune Christmas morning. I once watched the SEALs running on the sand with the telephone poles on their shoulders.
I mean, I guess they train. I mean, Camp Lejeune has a lot of amphibious landing ranges and beaches that you assault. So yeah, I guess they would do that. But they weren't really stationed there. But you'd see like foreign military there a lot training. The British were there all the time. So you'd see all sorts of different people outside of the Marine Corps. But I just lived there drinking the leukemia water for a couple of years.
My favorite line from a movie regarding the Marines and the Navy was in A Few Good Men. No, it was Keith or Sutherland. Tom Cruise goes, "Do you not like me?" And he goes, "Yeah, I like you, Navy boys. Every time there's a war, y'all give us a ride."
Yep,
I enjoyed that.
When I first checked into my infantry training school, that movie was playing on a TV. I'm like, what are they going to do here? They're going to haze us to death and then lie about it? It's awesome.
That is what basic training was like for me. I don't know about for you.
It was, to me, it was some of the greatest comedy I ever experienced in my life. Hilarious.
Yes. Drill sergeants are the funniest fucking people.
And you can't laugh. That's what makes it even funnier. Like,
right.
I don't know how they did it for you guys, but we had like 2 rows of bunk beds across like the squad bay or the barracks from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to stand at the foot of the bed and like scream for hours and hours.
Oh yeah.
Like there was some
basic stuff.
Some shrimpy, young dude who he would always get picked on. And this one DI got right up in his face, right across from me. I was right next to him. He goes, "The only time I ever see you open your mouth when you suck dick." And I was just like trying not like if I laugh, I'm fucked,
Dude, they would say the best shit. They would walk in and like call us bags of dicks and stuff. And like,
oh my God.
That's like, it's some of my favorite humor of all time. Like drill sergeants would just burst in and be like, "It smells like fucking shit in here. Everyone go to the showers now."
I think for me, boot camp at Parris Island, they've had so many training incidents where people like recruits die. They have to kind of be cool to you there. But then you get to SOI, the School of Infantry, with these like salty combat instructors just back from Iraq, and they did not give any fuck about that. Like,
right.
They'd be calling us like dick snot, like for night fire ranges. They'd be like shining a light in somebody's face, being like, "Where's that cum hiding?" It was a Me Too moment.
So Full Metal Jacket was not that far off, is what you're saying.
I never saw anyone get beat, but you like kind of knew it probably still happened. Like I never saw anybody get like punched.
Oh, like
you guys never beat anybody up?
No, we were pussies.
I had a couple fights happen in basic training.
There was this one. They blackjacked somebody.
Yeah, this one. So I was on like the night guard with this kid, and he's this little scrappy dude from West Virginia. Nice kid, but not the kind of guy you want to talk shit to. And this other dude, Zinsky, gets up out of bed, and for some reason he starts mouthing off to him, and he's like, and the kid I was pulling guard with is like, what? Don't mouth off to me. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And the guy just keeps mouthing off and mouthing off and mouthing off. And so, the kid's name was Butters. We called him Butters because he stole peanut butter from like DFAC one day. Classic story.
That is a classic.
I like how you guys are saying like abbreviated names, and you two know what it means. I have no fucking. I don't know what DFAC is, but you guys are laughing, so that's all that matters.
It's short for dining facility. It's a cafeteria.
Yeah.
So Butters
sounds cooler when you call it a DFAC.
Yeah, it does.
We call it the chow hall because we're just livestock, basically.
Feed trough. That's what it feels like. They just rush you in and out of there. But Butters socked the kid, and he falls backwards, and he falls down, and he stands up immediately, and there's just blood gushing down his chin. And we're like, oh fuck. And we like run him to the bathroom and get him cleaned up, and we're like standing over there like intimidating this poor guy. We're like, you're gonna tell the drill sergeants you tripped getting out of bed and you hit your face on the rifle rack. And he did exactly that. It's fucking beautiful.
That's funny. We never had anything but I guess the worst thing that I ever saw happen to a recruit was a kid got caught stealing the box lunch. They give you these things called box chow. It's like a lunch in a white box, and it's all packaged up. And this kid like stole one and hid it in like a Foot Locker. And then just randomly we were getting fitted for some uniforms or something. So like the drill instructors had to go into into these Foot Lockers to grab like this is really stupid, but like we had the wrong underwear. This is the kind of shit that happens.
Yeah.
This is life in the fucking military. So they had to go grab, and they found this box chow this kid had stashed away. And then like they told us basically, we found a box chow in this kid's fucking Foot Locker. You guys are getting hazed. And then they brought us back and made us dump all of our bags, all of our gear out in the middle of the barracks. And this kid had to just sit there, this is Full Metal Jacket shit, and just like eat all this food. And then they bought him a cake and made him eat that shit. It was like a mixture of Full Metal Jacket and Matilda.
Yeah.
With Crunch Bowl.
So his hazing was they provided him with a nutritious and entertaining meal. And
yeah, I mean, like he was like crying, and like they made him drink 5 Gatorades. It's like, well, you gotta get hydrated. You gotta have your electrolytes. They bought him a whole ass fucking cake. Dude,
yeah, that's
but
awesome.
The funniest thing to me, because the little things are what makes a story. Like one of the the drill instructors was this, he was this dude from New Jersey, real tough guy. And he goes, like he's interrogating this kid while they're forcing him to eat. And we're all just getting like yelled at watching this happen. He goes, the cookies aren't in there. You probably ate them motherfuckers in the bathroom, didn't we? Call it the head. He goes, yes, sir. And then he's like, you sat in the third stall from the back, didn't you? You probably didn't even take a shit. And this kid, integrity was his thing at this point. He's like, nah, this recruit did take a shit, sir. It's like, okay. Well, I don't know why you'd even admit that. But
I watched him, sir. I watched him take a shit. I observed the shit coming from his ass, sir.
Dude, yeah, those were some of the funniest times, because like you were like overly supervised for a good portion of it, and then like you weren't supervised at all. Like we would make like the craziest bets. So in my platoon, we each bet this kid $20, and I feel bad that we did this because this guy clearly had like Asperger's or something, and like he should not have been allowed to join the military, but he did, and he could tell you like every historical detail from like any war, any military fact you wanted to know, but he just like wasn't there. Like he couldn't tie his shoes.
He should have been a Marine. Sounds like a Marine.
Yeah, his hat was.
It sounds like that trooper's name was Steve Tracy.
Not far off. I was like 2% better than this kid at getting my uniform on. I swear to God, I learned how to tie my shoes in basic training.
2% better at getting your uniform on. A whole 2%, Steve?
Yeah.
If they actually tested people in the military for autism, like there would be a lot of motherfuckers on the spectrum easily.
Dude,
Kurt Ryan would be a major.
He definitely could be. So this one day we all bet this kid like $20 or something. We were everyone in the platoon, it was like 40 dudes. We're going to give him like $20. if he could successfully jerk off using Ben Gay.
Oh my God,
dude!
Damn.
And he gave it a shot, man. He went to the bathroom.
Did he bust a nut?
No, he didn't. He didn't. We're all just like gathered around outside of the bathroom, just hearing this guy fucking screaming as he's trying to jerk off with Ben Gay. It is one of the funniest things.
There were more than one instance I heard of a guy being convinced to put icy hot on his ball sack. You know what? This is going to sound weird, but a little shot of hand sanitizer on the scrot after a long patrol, surprisingly refreshing.
Yeah,
you guys must have been seriously missing women at this point. Like, it's
not. That was like 2 weeks
prison
in.
stories.
Man, deployment when you're just out there, just being a nasty piece of shit for months. Really, the best time you can be alive if you live through it.
I bet it was. I always loved the field training exercises where it's like you don't have to shower.
Right.
I mean, just people live.
You just use baby wipes, basically.
What's that called? Isn't that called bivouac or something like that?
Wipes, and that's all you need.
Isn't when you're out on isn't when you're out like isn't that called bivouac or something like that?
Bivouac?
Yeah, bivouac or something like that.
That's like that's an old school term for like
I'm not
military.
I don't know that one.
I mean, I've heard that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is, but yeah, like to set up a campsite or whatever.
Everything I know about the military I learned from Beetle Bailey cartoons, so it's fine.
Jeff, I know you said
Beetle Bailey and Farside.
I know you said you had to go get dinner, so we won't hold you up too much longer.
Oh yeah, do whatever. I'm here.
Oh, all right.
Fuck Jeff's family. Come on, Steve.
Well, shit. All right. Well, let's swap some more fucking.
Family was not on his 3 pillars. Okay, so let's keep moving.
Some fucking training stories and shit.
Yeah, it's Bud something else in Brotherhood. I forgot. Bagels. That's right.
Bud, Bagels, and Brotherhood. Right. Why Bagels?
Because it starts with a B. I just wanted something alliterative.
And bagels are delicious.
Bagels are delicious.
Bagels and lox. You know,
everything. Bagel, some cream cheese, some lox. Sure, dude.
Exactly.
Good stuff,
dude.
Also, like it's kind of like the opposite of barbecue, I guess. It pretty much is.
Bagels
and lox is, culturally speaking, anyway.
Yeah, it might be like the farthest thing.
There's like bougie Jew versus like heartland America, basically. That's the divide. That's the divide in America right now. Bagels and barbecue. I actually like both. I'm a moderate.
Those are the two. That should be the campaign. That should be what the parties are fighting over.
Although I feel like neither candidate really fucks with either. If anything, Trump probably fucking loves bagels. He's a New Yorker and he's Jewish.
He probably loves barbecue too, dude. He looks like he does.
I don't know. He seems like, I feel like you got to be from the South or have spent a lot of time there to appreciate some Q.
He's all about fast food. That's his thing. He's
a big McDonald's guy. Like that's his jam.
Dude, that's fucking crazy to me. Like to be that rich and you're still like getting hyped over McDonald's.
Well, I feel like he's just of that generation where McDonald's was such a novel thing. Like in the 60s, growing up, you didn't have Big Macs until like the 70s or something. I'm sure for a lot of people that age, it was. Bill Clinton loved McDonald's. There's a whole SNL skit with
Phil Hartman.
Yeah, that was
where
I remember watching that when it was on. I thought it was the funniest shit ever.
He, McDonald's is like, it's such a rarity in this world because it's the reason it's the most successful restaurant chain of all time is because it's the only one that you already know the menu. Like,
right.
They have menu boards, but you know what they have before you even get there.
You already have the guilt programmed before you even eat it, before you even go out the door to get it. Like, that's clout right there.
That's true. I kind of like, or I don't really like it, but like the campaign that they're doing now with like the rappers coming out with their own McDonald's meal. Have you guys seen this?
I saw that
meal or something.
Yeah, they did the Travis Scott and then whoever J Balvin is. It's like
J Balvin.
I guess it's just like you get what they would order when you go to McDonald's.
Well, that's an interesting promotional
right. It's just like you get to eat like a rapper.
Well, I think we when we did the show with Anthony Wright, we talked about that how McDonald's has its secret menu, and one of them is called a McGangbang.
What the fuck is a McGangbang?
Oh yeah, the McGangbang.
McGangbang is, if I remember this, it is a double cheeseburger. In between is a McChicken sandwich.
Yeah, I think it's a double quarter pounder.
Yeah, that's
with
it.
cheese, and in between the two patties is a McChicken.
Yeah, and they call it a McGangbang.
Yeah,
and apparently, if you order it, they know what it is.
Maybe I highly doubt that all McDonald's would know what that is, though. Like, I feel like you could pull up to like a McDonald's in like West Virginia, and some old ladies like at the drive-through window. I'm like, can I get a McGangbang? And she would just be offended. She would just be pissed off.
Hey, as long as they sell it to you, who cares? Who cares? You know, we gotta have that McGangbang, man.
Need 3 McGangbangs.
So appetizing. A McGang. That's what I want to think about when I'm filling my mouth with questionable food stuff.
Well, you need that extra special sauce.
I know I'm in the minority of this, but I always thought the grossest thing they ever did was the McRib sandwich.
I thought the Big and Tasty. Do you remember that one?
I've never had one. A
friend of mine called it the Big and Nasty, and never did I hear something more appropriate.
What was it? What was the Big and Tasty?
I don't even remember, but it involved too many tomatoes.
Yeah, it was. Ugh. Well, they had the McDLT, and the McDLT was famous because it came in these, like, the carton was like 2-sided. So on the left side was the top of the bun, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. And on the other side was the patty on the bottom half of the bun. And so, and the catch was, it keeps the cool side cool and the hot side hot. And then you were supposed to open it up and combine them. And that was actually a pretty good burger. But I heard they stopped it because it was too expensive to make the carton.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh. Actually, it's kind of nice keeping the ingredients separate.
But the worst thing I ever saw was, and the only place I saw it was at the College Park McDonald's back in the day, is they were one of the few that stores that had McPizza for a while.
Oh, yikes. That's gross.
It was disgusting.
An abomination. I mean, McDonald's itself is already an abomination, but now it's like intersectionally offensive, as you would say now.
That was a very social worker way of saying that.
Thank you. I learned some great terms in social work school, like before they were cool.
Yeah, I've had to learn all of those terms because I graduated from college recently. So like, we get all.
I went like with early millennial social justice warriors, and that's something I like talking about in stand up, because like, how the hell does a dude graduate college in 2007? I should have been like in the Peace Corps, but I chose the Marine Corps. Well, I did AmeriCorps as well. Actually, I did a lot of Corps work, but.
That's why your abs are so tight, dude.
Yeah, hot.
All that core work.
That's why I have a big old keg now. It's all muscle. But no, really though, like, yeah, I remember hearing a lot of things you don't really hear anymore. Like, you used to hear the term restorative justice instead of now social justice. I feel like restorative justice was too confusing, so they just dumbed it down. Now they call it social justice.
Oh. That's interesting. I don't remember restorative justice.
Yeah, it didn't take hold. After 2006, you stopped hearing it. That one didn't catch on the way certain other ones do.
It's so interesting how, like, there's all these different, like, words and phrases now just that make me feel bad.
You know which one I don't like? I don't like the word problematic. That one's a little too passive aggressive.
Yeah, I don't like problematic either. It's because it's also.
Of course, I am problematic, so maybe
it's also a matter of opinion in a lot of cases.
Sure.
I don't know. We don't need to get into a whole social justice thing.
KW. But the hell was I saying? Intersectionally offensive. Yeah, that pizza at McDonald's. That's just. No, it's
that pizza has never been described that way before. Like, normally it's like gross or vomitous or anything, but the way you just worded it makes it seem...
the fact that
right, that's that's why it caught my attention.
It's a violation of the law of God and man. Yes.
Oh God!
It might even be cultural appropriation now
of Italian American culture. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, right.
What's the grossest fast food place you've ever had food from?
The grossest? I would say Subway. Just any Subway ever.
Yeah, Subways are pretty bad.
There's just something really unwholesome about things that are supposed to be health. Like fast food, I want it I want the food fried so it's a little bit cleaner. Like not cleaner for your gut health and bacteria and all that, but like just generally not going to give you a disease that day.
Yeah. You're not going to get botulism or something.
Yes, exactly.
The chicken's going to be cooked all the way through. I would
I
go.
don't want to be worried about lettuce or something that can spoil.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not great to be eating that stuff anyway. But...
What, lettuce? Yeah, that's for rabbits.
Any of it, yeah. Food in general. Food is so bad for you. Digestion, shitting, the whole thing.
That's true. They say you should fast.
Just all the time. Fuck intermittent.
Like 5 days a month, they say you should fast.
Just if you really need to pass some stool, eat a little bit of something. Just eat like a whole elk once in a while, and then you'll be fine. I don't know. I listen to
a whole elk.
I don't actually listen.
The entire animal.
Yeah, carnivore diet,
don't
right?
Even cook
just open your maw and
just chow
the
down.
fucker hole.
Yeah.
So don't even chew.
The way it tastes best, actually, is after you kill the elk, you bring your family to the site of the kill, and you eat it straight from the bone right there.
Of course. I mean, I think we really lost something as a species when we stopped doing that.
Do you do it like a pride of lions and the men eat first?
Well, actually, the female lion are the hunter.
Yeah, but they hunt it. But I think doesn't the male lion eat first?
I think they fucking I'm pretty sure they go after it, and then they just bring whatever back.
The female lions do the hunting. That's true. But I didn't know that the fat, abusive male lions, if they're the ones that go up and chow down first.
The Homer Simpson lion?
I don't think so, because I don't think they leave the nest or whatever when the ladies go hunting.
I just picture the male lion showing up with his wife beater on. It's like, get out the way, I'm gonna eat first. It's elk, gazelle, and freedom.
His mane's all patchy.
That's right. Food cooked over
He's
fire.
Balding up top. He voted for Trump. Just all the things.
I can see lions voting for Trump.
You know what I would select is Checkers. You ever had Checkers before?
Dude, I actually like Checkers.
I had it one time. It was disgusting.
Sonic is especially gross, I would say.
I was going to say Arby's. Arby's always gives me some watery dukes afterwards.
Arby's is pretty bad. Yeah. I actually think the grossest one is Burger King, because I think Burger King like everybody else decided to go healthy, and then Burger King's like, fuck it, we're just going to murder people with our food.
Yeah, we're going to start doing chicken fries. Fuck potatoes.
Chicken fries, and like, we're going to coat everything in Dorito dust and Cheeto dust and just
Taco Bell's pretty nasty too. I feel like they're all pretty. I mean, fast food's a nasty concept.
Yeah, but Taco Bell is just meant to be nasty. Like,
you know what my favorite is sometimes I'll say my favorite's Chick-fil-A, but have you guys ever done Cookout?
Cookouts, that was a big thing in North Carolina.
It's like a southern chain. I think it's only they have them in Virginia and North Carolina.
All the good chains are southern, like Zaxby's. Fucking awesome.
Ray, you would love Cookout. It's basically barbecue food. So like you can get like a burger, you can get a hot dog, you can get fries, you can get a quesadilla, you can get like fried chicken, you can get all this shit, and each item is like $1 or $2. So you just like make a plate.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
He mentioned Zaxby's. I once saw a commercial for Zaxby's, and they were touting their salads. It was like, at Zaxby's, we got quality chicken salad and quality chef salad and quality Southwestern salad, and all our salads come with 2 egg rolls. Like, what?
Why is a fried chicken place doing egg rolls?
I don't know, but they really got me. I was like, what the fuck is? But who orders a full salad? I'm gonna eat healthy and get 2 egg rolls. Like, that's not healthy.
You get your fiber and then you get to party.
It's like that joke about how fat people order the Filet-O-Fish sandwich from McDonald's because they want to eat healthy. That's the most fattening thing on the entire menu, next to their salads.
The Filet-O-Fish. I wouldn't
no.
trust fast food fish.
No, never. Never.
No, I mean, Unless it's, what about Long John Silver's?
Long John Silver's. Dude, that's a place you eat at and the grease will stay on you for 3 days.
Yes, it will.
Oh yeah, it permeates.
That's some greasy ass food.
Pizza Hut too is another one. Like some of those,
That's
some
fast
of the stuff.
food. I guess sort of.
They're pizza fast food. I mean, they really are.
Yeah, they're macro pizza.
I remember one time they had a pizza, and you know how they have their stuffed crust pizza, right, with cheese in it. Well, one time they did it with hot dogs. Like there were hot dogs in the pizza, like because they thought those two things go together. Weird, very weird.
Interesting.
Not allowed.
I think Yum Brands like owns Taco Bell and Burger King and Pizza Hut, and I'm pretty sure they're just like have a competition to see who can kill the most people every year.
Yeah. But in the most disgusting way and the least dignified. Like, I had too many double downs.
Well, that KFC double down, that was ridiculous.
That was a big step. That was like the Donald Julius Trump of fast food sandwiches.
Oh, but they sold so many too. I mean,
I never tried it. I
never did either, but it just seemed. I liked that it existed.
It was a little grotesque when you really think about it. One of my favorite things that's also kind of grotesque is from Chick-fil-A. It's the chicken, egg, and cheese bagel. So it's like this multi-grain bagel with fried chicken and then egg on it. But if you really think about what you're eating, it's like you're eating the mom.
Yeah,
baby. You just covered it in cheese and put it on a bagel.
You're just eating an entire family.
That's why the Jews don't let you eat cheeseburgers. That's the principle behind like keeping kosher. Actually,
really?
It's fucked up to eat like bathing, as they say, the baby in the mother's milk. Frankly, I couldn't care less, but that was what I was raised on. I never was like, oh, interesting. I just don't eat cheeseburgers because I think they're gross. I like just the hamburger, no cheese.
You don't like cheese?
I do, but not on burgers. I think it's weird.
Huh.
I think it's
interesting.
And it's not it's a flavor thing. I'm like, I want to taste the cow.
Well, when I used to eat clean and I go through periods where I try and eat clean, it was ironically it was a tip I saw from some professional wrestler. He talked about you can eat at those places, just don't eat the bun. Like that's
what I do.
Just eat the hamburger. Yeah. Just eat the chicken.
Right. The meat itself is probably not that bad. Yeah. It's just meat. Meat is meat, pretty much.
But going back to the double down, like Patton Oswalt has an amazing bit about KFC, and he talks about the double down. He talks about how like literally you have to hurt yourself to eat it. He goes, that's some crazy Roman emperor shit. It's like prove your loyalty by burning yourself so you can eat this thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what consumerism is. It's just like, it's this weird self-abasement ritual. I mean, that's what a lot of it, but whatever.
Dude, especially with fast food. Fast food can be very loathsome. Experience.
Let's just open our own fast food restaurant and we just put in all the foods we hate. All the grossest things we can think of.
Ooh, I'd have fun with that. Definitely sushi on pizza.
Yeah.
I feel like we would make a killing, but I would not want to hang out with the clientele.
No, it would
be the worst people of all time.
Comics, actually.
Yeah, but one of the clientele would be Baxley.
Nah, Baxley would be managing the place, dude.
I feel like Baxley has a lot of taste. He never would. He'd be like, no, that's not cool. What I like about Baxley is when he decides to be a snob about something, he's usually right. Like if he wants, like if he he lived in the Southwest, right? It's like, this place is fake Southwest. You're stealing my life.
Is Arizona the Southwest?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of it's Southwest. It's like, see, that's how I am with Mexican.
I thought it was like middle.
No, that's how I am with Mexican places because I've tasted real Mexican food, and if it's not legit, I won't eat there. As a matter of fact, I can tell you right now, if you want the best Mexican or any kind of Latino food, if you go to the place and everybody there is speaking English, it sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got to go where they only speak Spanish, and more than likely it's the dirtiest place you've ever seen. That's the joint you want to get food from.
Good stuff. They got flavor there.
Or those roadside stands along Route 1, man. There's some that are amazing.
Like Laurel.
There's one. Well, there's one guy who sells carne asada on the side of the road on Route 1 at 32. and for $10, you get a huge steak, homemade rice, homemade tortillas, homemade beans, all for $10,
awesome.
and you won't have to eat for 2 days when you're done.
I have a tough time trusting stands like that because a couple years ago when I was working as a Lyft driver, so I would do the airport run sometimes, and there was this little like falafel stand that would post up there, and I got that.
Yeah,
I had to call it an early day.
I seem to recall that, and that's because it was falafel. You never want to do that. No. It has to be like Latino food. It has to be like Central American or Mexican or something like that, because they know how to cook on the side of the road. Yeah, Arabs don't know how to do that.
That's my favorite thing you've ever said. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Oh, it's like complimentary stereotypes or something.
I mean, you're not gonna, if you want to buy a bag of oranges off the side of the road, you're not gonna buy them from an Irish guy. That's all I'm saying.
Why would you?
Yeah, exactly. If I pulled up to a Home Depot looking to hire a helping hand, I definitely wouldn't pick an Italian.
Right. Yeah. If there's a white guy there, you go past him because you know he's gonna do a shitty job. You know it.
Oh, I should have said Polish. I definitely wouldn't pick up a Polish.
That's racist, dude.
I am one. I'm a Polish.
Oh, you're allowed to be racist.
Exactly.
You're ginger Polish.
I'm a quarter Polish on my grandma's side.
Was she a ginger too?
I think I get a pass. Yeah, that's where I get it from, bud.
Oh, you're a ginger?
It's turning more brown.
Yeah.
As I get older.
Slight auburn.
I'm losing the magic.
Yeah, I didn't view him as a ginger either, but he kept telling me he was a ginger.
Yeah, Ray didn't believe I was ginger until I pulled out a pube on one of the road trips.
Yeah, and now he's definitely a ginger.
And that's how I mark my drinks to let people know that they're mine. I set a pube across the straw. Go ahead, take a sip.
Plus, I've seen Steve use freckle cream, so it's
that is a key component to my skincare routine. But I think we should wrap this up here, fellas. We've been going about an hour and a half now.
Yeah,
we're good. We've offended pretty much just about every group of person in the country, so I think we're doing good.
That's the best thing to do on election night.
Yeah,
that's right. Increase the unity through division or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, either way, Jeff, on behalf of everybody, thank you for your service.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
We're never going to say that to Steve.
No, I didn't do anything. Don't do that.
Well, yeah.
But
I'm out there trolling motherfuckers every day for you.
But do you have anything coming up, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Magoobies talent competition November 29th, and I'll be doing a show.
Now, is that the monthly or the year-end?
The year-end competition.
Year-end, okay.
I might be there with you.
Yeah, I did October. Got that email back from Andrew, so I'm going to be on the 29th. Because there's two shows, the 29th and then the 6th.
Okay.
So I'm on the first round, or the first show, the first round.
All right.
And then before that, I have one on November 21st down in Silver Spring. I think it's Crazy Rays or something.
Crazy Steve's. That's Daryl Klein's show.
I know it was one of you crazy guys.
Yeah, it's a Daryl Klein show.
Yeah, so that'll be really fun. Byron Brooks is hosting.
Have you done a Daryl Klein show before?
I've not yet. It's gonna be my first one.
Well, have fun with that.
Oh, lovely.
It's a good time.
I like Daryl. I do. We've talked about Daryl a lot. I like Daryl, but you'll see what we're talking about.
He knows how to put on a spectacle.
Yeah,
is that good? That's my birthday and everything. I'm going to be having a great time.
I mean, also
could be good.
I'll tell you this, and of course, Steve and I would never know. We wouldn't know for sure because we've obviously never done this. But allegedly, someone in his close circle sells very good edibles. Steve and I have no idea if that's true or not.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Absolutely.
Her name's definitely not Paula.
Yes. I mean, we are clean on the inside, so we would never do that.
Of course, no. I mean, the devil's lettuce. I mean, I'm a pure evangelical boy. I don't do that kind of thing.
I'm the same way, dude. My body is a temple.
I mean,
But if you want to stuff your temple with some fudgy marijuana brownies,
yeah, and just and I can't tell you that you should only eat half and not the whole one because you want to get home safely. But
right, good to know.
Yeah,
I'd recommend eating two.
Yeah, and if you don't watch a Harry Potter movie afterwards is not something that I would.
Well, I don't watch her because J.K. Rowling's problematic. So.
Yeah, but
Jeff King is so woke.
WOKE, fellas.
Hey, listen.
2020.
I think it's amazing that people would give a shit about what J.K. Rowling thinks in the first place. So.
People do,
I know, but it's like
mine do. I've never read or seen a lot of Harry Potter, basically any. So I don't really have any skin in that game.
There's very few transgender people in the Harry Potter series. There's also very few black people.
She also retroactively made Dumbledore gay.
Yeah.
Right. So she's kind of woke, but like not woke enough. I think.
Also, she didn't talk about the many abortions that happened at Hogwarts.
So it was just like a Planned Parenthood clinic.
It's just the caretaker Hagrid. He had to supplement his income.
Was he doing back out like with a wand and shit? That's horrible.
No, they just had an abortion spell.
Oh
no, Hagrid couldn't use his wand anymore. He had a specific breed of earthworm that he bred, and he would insert it and let it just do its thing.
Yeah. Hermione had so many of those.
Apparently, I'm missing out. I'm missing out on some real good. I don't know what indoctrination. I guess is the word. Liberal indoctrination.
I'm not really sure what it is. I think we could probably just call it fan fiction, so that way we don't get sued.
That's probably a good idea.
For what's that called?
Libel. A really good idea.
Defamation.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much for being on the show, dude. This has been
Appreciate
awesome.
It. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming.
And we will see you We'll see you out and about.
Absolutely.
And,
I'll be.
Go from there. All right.
Yep. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
You too, Jeff.
Thanks again.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
Have a good night.
So, Steve, we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. To everybody, hope you enjoyed the episode and have a good night.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the 2 Joke Minimum podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.